Hi, investors. It's Dr. Marcia from Bookworm Investment Club. I am the creator and the founder of Bookworm, and it's where we teach women how to build profitable stock portfolios. I'm here because I wanted to do a quick follow-up from our Wednesday night investor chat. The last chat we talked about developing a stock checklist or company checklist, which would be criteria that we use to help you decide whether or not this is a good stock to buy. And so, two of the things we talked about was before you decide to invest in a company, one of the things you want to make sure of is this company growing? And you want to look at it from the standpoint of the revenue and um, the earnings of the company. You know, you want to look at historically what has this company done in the past, and are the revenues growing, and are the earnings growing? Well, we had one of our participants ask 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 about a company called UONE. Now, I had not heard of the company, and she asked me what I thought about the company. So I decided that I'm going to look this company up and look at their earnings and their revenues. And so I decided to come on and to do this little short video about the company. So I'm going to share my screen and let you know what I found when I compared this company to another company that's similar to what it does. So the company UONE is called Urban One. And I wanted to compare that to another company that does this a similar thing that UONE does. That company is named Nexstar Media Group. Now, Urban One is an urban orientated multimedia company. So they do cable TV and radio broadcasting. They specifically target African Americans and urban listeners. Compare that to Nexstar, which is the largest television station operated um, in the United States. It has over 197 stations, and it includes the affiliates of CBS, Fox, NBC, and ABC. So just from that information, we know that Nexstar Media is a huge, huge company compared to Urban One. But specifically, we talked about, is the company growing the earnings? Is the company growing the revenues? And so what I did was I took a look at both companies and compared the two. And when I looked at the revenues of Urban One, and you can see in the graph below here, you can see that as far as the revenues are concerned, and this is from the year, oops, this should be 2018, 19, and 20. So that's not right. Okay, but what I want to show you is the blue graph represents the revenue. Now, trying to answer this question, is this company growing the revenue? No. In fact, it stayed the same here from 2018 to 2019 and even dropped in 2020 compared to Nexstar, which you can see there is a nice increase in the trend of the revenues from 2018 to 2020. So keep that in mind. What about the earnings or the net income? Are they growing their net income? Are they growing their earnings? And you can see in Urban One, the answer to that question is no. In fact, you see a decline in the earnings compared to Nexstar. The earnings decreased in 2019, but you see they picked up in 2020. So just from looking at the revenues and the earnings, and when I ask this question, are they growing? And if I would invest in these companies, depending on just those two, is it growing the earnings and revenue? I would ask you this question: which one would you rather invest in? The Nexstar Media or the Urban One? Now, once again, this is only one criteria. There are other things you want to look at. And once again, you do have to take into consideration that Urban One is a much smaller company. It's got a lot of growing to do. So, with that in mind, use this information to start developing your criteria. And I invite you to join us on the next Wednesday night investor chat. And we'll talk more about developing our stock checklist. All right. Have a good evening, and I'll talk to you later.